Well, from the outside looking in, I would say the coronavirus is the big thing. How you manage to teach children that are in the classroom and outside the classroom and stretch the teachers really thin is one of the troubling aspects of education. And I think the Nekoosa School District is attempting to do a good job, and we just need the patience to make it happen. The other thing I would look at is now that COVID's come in and unemployment rates have gone up, and it's harder for families to make it, is how to stop spending or cut back on spending or reduce it so we can, rather than try to finish projects within a certain period of time, we stretch it out so we don't raise taxes too much on the families there, whether they're families with children in school or they're the families that have unemployment coming in, because the tax time is really tough on some of those families, and plus the retired people. How are we going to make it a little bit financially easier for them around tax time, knowing that their funds are also being reduced?
Some of the major challenges that the Nekoosa School District and board are currently facing is our decrease in enrollment. Currently, we're seeing class sizes drop significantly, and with our WISE Academy, we're able to fill seats and to provide funding for those that aren't in seats physically here at the district. Another issue that we're facing is athletics on the decline. Some of our sports aren't able to fill positions or have enough players to go both ways on offense and defense, depending on the sport. So athletics has been on a decline the past few years. And then lastly here, our discipline policy. When I first ran 3 years ago, the discipline policy was not up to par. And the past 2 years and 3 years, we've been making some tweaks. So I'd like to make some more tweaks to the discipline policy to make it a little bit more efficient and helpful for the district there.
Well, I'd like to look at the financing part, and anybody that remembers me from the last time around, I like to look at the finances, and I like to find out how we can reduce or just extend the payments in. I don't want to see large increases in payments for debt. I don't want to see new debt brought in if it doesn't serve the students directly. And then find out how we can ease the tax burden through our management of our funds and try to make it easier.
The new referendum has benefited the district significantly already. We had a committee of teachers get together to kind of put together a compensation model based on education credits, master's degree, certifications, and teachings. And with this new compensation model, we're able to compete with other districts around our area. And so if someone were to get their master's degree, they would move up in a pay scale, and they'd also have so many years to move up into that pay scale as well. So with our operational referendum, it has gotten many teachers excited. Not only can they receive better pay, but that comes along with getting more educated. So if they get their master's degree, get certain education credits, that will help them not only with their teachings and their education to our students in our district, but it'll also help raise their income as well. So right now with that committee, we just approved it as a board last year, and it has gone in effect this year. So the teachers are very excited to know that with added experiences in teaching, education, learning, master's degree, all that stuff, they're going to be earning more salary wise too. So they're very excited with that new operational referendum.
I'll tell you the truth, being on the outside, I really don't know, because I'm watching the construction project, and since the taxpayers went for it, I'm just watching, and seeing what is actually happening, and then just holding back to find my comments until it is completed to see what the completed project looks like and how the taxpayers are able to pay for it. I think the big thing to bring the families in is the community has to buy in to the concept of working together hand in hand with the school district. Now, when I was up in the Phelps school districts years ago, that school district in rural northern Wisconsin became a blue ribbon school. And it's because the teachers, the school district, the community, and the students all bought into how to make the schools better and worked together as a coordinated unit to improve the way the school was being ran, supported, and the support of the teachers was very important. So from that experience, I like to draw in and then try to make it work in the Nekoosa School District.
First of all, this just isn't a Nekoosa problem. A lot of schools in our conference and in our state are struggling with the same issue. A few things that come to mind are our new athletic facility. You often refer to the term, if you build it, they will come. Hopefully our new facility will bring not just athletes, but more student athletes into our district. Hopefully that'll be kind of an attraction there. Our high school also is one of the few high schools in the state that offers 9 AP courses. Most schools in our state don't offer that many. A lot of them offer 3 to 4, and we're way up there with 9. Another thing that we're trying to bring to the table is offering more computer sciences. The field and demand is going up, so I know that with our new referendum, we definitely are trying to get more of that into our district. And then lastly here that comes to mind is increasing teachers' education and credits to bring more resources and experience to the classroom. So often when they're speaking about the compensation model, these teachers have to increase their credits each year. And then hopefully that'll bring more resources and more education to the classroom. Actually, the board has been working on this for a good 3 or 4 months now. We're working with the middle school and the high school athletic directors. We currently formed a committee with teachers, students, athletes, parents, coaches, and some administration to help kind of cue this problem. So recently we created 10 baseline steps, and from there we're only gonna grow our programs. So we already are starting with working with the YMCA, working with the youth. And then the goal here is for all varsity coaches to get in line with this new baseline that we created. And then hopefully it siphons down. So then, 2 to 3 years from now, our programs keep growing by how we were making our adjustments. So athletics is something that just isn't Nekoosa struggling with again. A lot of schools in our conference are getting decreased participation. So we are currently as a board working on a operational expectations, and we're going to review this every 6 months. So hopefully if I get my second term, this is something I want to create, this operational expectation. So as a board, we can check this every 3 to 6 to 12 months and make sure our coaches and our sports are all in check so we don't have to have this problem surface again.
The big part would be trying to find out what the students are interested in sports. Some are not interested. It's just, you can't change a student who says, I don't want to play soccer, I don't want to play football. And trying to find something that they want to play on within the facilities. Now, I can see where it would be difficult because now they've got the technology that's pulling them away from physical activity and putting them into this new virtual world of I can now golf, I can play tennis, I can do whatever I want on my computer and I'm satisfied and I'm just going to go home and do that. So it will be trying to get the students to buy into physical activity again. I mean, back in the 60s, we didn't have computer stuff to drive us away, so we were into sports. 70s, we had sports. Now it's totally different. It's virtual. It's what can I do on a computer that I don't want to sweat and get hurt on a sports field. I'm waiting to see if the package even gets passed. I mean, it went from the House to the Senate changed it, now it's going back down to the House, and now we have to see how the politicians are going to change it and what parts are they going to change. So it's hard to forecast what we're going to do different until they're done making modifications and passing it back and forth.
So last Tuesday, we had a school board meeting. Our business manager, Lynn Knight, let us know that we will be receiving federal dollars from our government. A lot of schools in the state will be receiving that. I'm not sure how we can best utilize that yet, since we don't know the exact amount. So in the meantime, when we do get those funds, we'll put it into one of our funding accounts and then wait to see where our district and schools could use that the best. Right now, we're working on a cohort. A lot of schools have their students in class 2 to 3 times a week. Nekoosa is one of the few schools in the state that have them in school 4 days a week. So Monday and Tuesday, they're in school. Wednesday is kind of a stay-at-home day. And then Thursday and Friday, we have them in class as well. So I know going into next year, fall of 2021, given the pandemic, and the board has discussed, we're basically going to be going 100%, as long as the health department has our backs, and we're knowing what to do with the mask and things like that too. But given the pandemic right now, our school, like I said, is one of the few in the state that our students are in class 4 days a week. So going into school next year, fall 2021, giving the health department and what their guidelines will be pretty close to 100%, if not by then. So
We have to do first is get past this COVID thing. I mean, wear the mask. I know I'm not wearing mine, but I'm by myself, except for the moderator. And then let's look at how we can move ahead. Because it's hard to just stop doing one thing, jump into another, because now we have to train the staff to get away from the computer connection to this from the students, go back into the classroom, and see how that changes their curriculum. I mean, they had to make massive changes so they could do virtual and actual classroom time at the same time. So we have to help them put it back together. We also have to look at students may have, and I know I've seen this, we have seen students who of the appropriate grade level playing in the streets, have them just playing outside instead of going to class. So it might be where we actually have to have an exam at the end of the year to say who's passing and who's going to stay behind so they can play the catch-up mode. I got a feeling that there will be some students that will need to repeat, and it's not because of their fault, it's just because of the circumstances that may have to repeat. But we also have to have a tool to measure how capable are these students to move on. Did they get the base level knowledge or the expected knowledge of that grade level? So it's like a grade level exam. You pass, you move on to the next grade level. You fail, you're going to repeat, but don't take it personal, because this is one screwy academic year with pandemic and virtual learning and regular learning. So you need to be patient with it and be patient with the student who may have problems with going back. I would like to see us get past this pandemic. I would like to see the district get together with the instructional staff to find out where they're at with their curriculum and how they're going to infuse things back and forth. It may be nice to say, oh, we're going to start early because we want to catch up from last year, but is the curriculum going to change because now we got the virtual learning out and we're going back to in the classroom? What do we have to do different to make things work in the classroom? And it may be it takes a longer summer to get the school readjusted from the partial student to the full student load, plus other things that may have occurred to make the adjustments for pandemic. I'm not a fan of going early. I would like to stay on the schedule that it's currently on with regular startup time. And then the districts, the staff, and administration can all work together to start at the normal time. I'm not a fan of starting early just because we want to make up. It's too late to play makeup at that time.
All right, so there's been some rumors about public schools starting earlier than normal. This, I don't think will be a problem for our school district in the fall. We have a plan of action going set forth to where our students will be starting normal in the fall of 2021. So I know some schools are a little bit behind, but like I said, with our students being in class 4 out of the 5 days a week, they kind of put us ahead. So I don't anticipate our district or our schools starting sooner. We are on track, and we are making sure that our students will be back in the classroom in the fall as normal times as predicted. So. The district continues and always strives to educate and include diversity and inclusion into the classroom. As a district, we continue to develop staff and students along with resources to make not only our students and staff stronger, but our district and community.
Currently on the outside, I have not been exposed to how they deal with it. I have not seen or heard from the parents or the students of issues going on or how things are. So for this one, I'm walking into it and I want to learn how that is being played out in the school, because I am very concerned about it. If we have a problem with diversity then, or cultural beliefs, fine, let's talk about it, but let's be respectful, let's be patient, and let's be understanding. We cannot just force somebody's preconceived notion of what's right, what's wrong. Let's talk and sort of make our way through it. Well, I like to say that I'm qualified, but the big thing is I have experience in education. I've taught and supported education. I was a substitute teacher up in the Phelps School District for a short period of time, but I also supported the Phelps School District as their technology person, their resource. And because I was their resource, I got to go to other schools who needed a resource. So I was in Phelps, I was in Elko, spent a little bit of time in Rhineland's technical support squad, Leona School District. I like to say that I've worked with about 15 different administrators in different schools, and I've seen how each school handled their curriculum, how they handled their students, how they handled their technology, and I also got a good feel for the administrators. Like I say, I must have worked for 15 different administrators, and there was only one administrator that I would follow wherever she went because she was that good. The other ones were personal issues, but I'm not going to get into that here. And I also like to think that I spent 2 years working inside the Nekoosa School District as their technology person. I also got a chance to work with the staff. I got a chance to work with the students. And as a community member, I still have friends that are in the district and that talk to me about what's going on in school or what they would like to see change in the school. It's not that I just shut it off, it's just I stayed out for a while.
Okay. Any last comments you want to make? Or?
The thing about the Nekoosa School District now is every school district in the state has come through this COVID crisis, and they've done different things to function as a unit. Now, what we have to do is find out what comes next for us, the Nekoosa School District. Are we going to make positive changes, or are we going to stay the same? Are we going to address the diversity issue, the cultures issues? There's the racism issue, because we have to start young on this. Because if we don't put a stop at the school level, then that may continue on past school, in the college or tech school, or even in just regular life. We have to, once again, rein in what's being said, how we're saying it, and come up with a different way of acting when it comes to talking to other people of different nationalities, backgrounds, etc. That's what I think we should do.
I have proudly served the past 2 years as your vice president and am currently serving as your board president. I am a born and raised Nekoosa resident and graduate. I chose to come back from college after getting my bachelor's and master's in public health and nutrition to serve as a role model and to give back to the district and community that has made me for who I am today. I too grew up with many hardships, just like many of those in Nekoosa. If it wasn't for the athletics, academics here, I'm not sure where I would be today. Therefore, my biggest goal here is to lead by example and to be a role model. And that's exactly what I plan to do on this next term. There are many things I'd like to see through, including the athletic project, and given my background in health, to continue and make our district healthier and happier, from athletics, academics, to the district and community. I believe the district needs a representative from a younger generation to represent the needs of this district and community. Like I stated before, after receiving my master's, I chose to come back, to give back, and to be a role model to the district, students, and community. I grew up in Nekoosa with a very low income household with many hardships beyond my control. I had a very uncertain future, just like many students in our district today. I want to show our community and students that even though you may be going through tough times and times may be hard, it does not always have to be that way. If they work hard in their academics, athletics, or any other school activity that drives them, they will go far, just like I did. I want to help make the district of Nekoosa the place where students know if they work hard, they can achieve many great things no matter their current situation. I'm very passionate about my community, district, and helping others, which is why I'm running for school board for my second term. If you're willing to give me a vote, then I'm willing to give everything I can for this district. Thank you.